This episode is brought to you by Vital Farms. Isn't it bullshit to have to question where your food comes from? At Vital Farms, you can trace your pasture-raised eggs all the way back to the source, the pasture. On the side of each pasture-raised carton of eggs, you'll find the name of the farm where your eggs were laid. And when you look the farm up on their website, you'll get a peek at all the sunshine, fresh air, and open space the hens enjoy. Learn more and find out where to buy them at vitalfarms.com. Vital Farms, keeping it bullshit-free.
Welcome to the HCI family of podcasts. We're your source for personal, professional, and organizational growth and development. We share our own original research, explore industry trends, and interview executives and thought leaders from across the globe. Join us for practitioner-oriented content around all things leadership, HR, talent management, organizational development, and change management. Maximize your personal and organizational potential with the HCI family of podcasts.
How leaders can overcome the fear of finding out. Years ago, I worked for a leader who was notorious for avoiding negative feedback and criticism. If there was even a hint of possible criticism or being found out after making a misstep, he would go out of his way to shut it down and isolate himself from the scrutiny. Despite repeated efforts by employees to provide constructive feedback, he always dismissed it, opting instead to maintain his existing beliefs and practices, most of which were rather toxic and negatively impacted the workplace and our team. As a result, he was an ineffective leader. He did not have the trust or loyalty of his people, and the organization suffered from a lack of innovation and progress, as well as low morale and high employee turnover. Unfortunately, in my experience, the scenario above is not uncommon. In fact, I can think of significant examples in nearly every organization I've worked. If this toxic leadership characteristic is so prevalent, and if the impacts are so negative, how can leaders proactively work to mitigate this tendency and even overcome it? What is FOFO and why does it matter? My previous work experience taught me the serious harm that a phenomenon called FOFO, fear of finding out, can cause to leaders and organizations. FOFO occurs within organizations where leaders are reluctant to seek information that may challenge their beliefs, decisions, or actions. This tendency, also known as intentional blindness or burying one's head in the sand, can have many negative consequences for organizations, including negatively impacting employee motivation and morale, reducing openness and trust, and diminishing overall worker creativity. By not proactively seeking and even actively avoiding avenues for meaningful feedback, leaders often miss opportunities for personal and team growth and improvement. Instead, they perpetuate practices that are often no longer effective or even relevant. This lack of adaptability eventually catches up with most leaders and their teams, resulting in missed opportunities, decreased competitiveness, and high employee turnover. FOFO is harmful to leaders and organizations because it limits the ability to adapt, learn, and grow. By avoiding feedback and ignoring new information, leaders miss opportunities for improvement and organizations suffer from a lack of innovation and progress. What are the causes of FOFO? If FOFO is such a pervasive problem in organizations, what are its causes? While many thought leaders and practitioners alike have proposed a wide variety of causes, the root causes of FOFO are complex and can stem from multiple sources. Cognitive bias. One source of FOFO is cognitive bias, such as confirmation bias and self-serving bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency to seek out information that confirms one's existing beliefs and attitudes, while self-serving bias is the tendency to view one's own actions and decisions in a more favorable light. Both of these biases can lead to FOFO by creating a mindset that resists new or conflicting information. Emotional factors. These include fear of criticism or exposure of shortcomings. Leaders who fear being criticized or who are concerned about exposing their own shortcomings may avoid seeking information that could challenge their beliefs or decisions. Systemic and cultural factors. Finally, FOFO can also be driven by systemic and cultural factors within organizations. For example, hierarchical structures that limit the flow of information and discourage dissenting opinions can create a culture of avoidance. Similarly, a lack of transparency in decision-making processes can lead to a culture where leaders feel less accountable for their actions and less motivated to seek information that could challenge their decisions. How can you overcome FOFO as a leader? So, what specifically can leaders do to address and overcome FOFO? Leaders must adopt a proactive and open-minded approach to information seeking and decision-making. This means they must be proactive in seeking information that may challenge their beliefs, decisions, or actions, and be open to considering new ideas and feedback. Specific steps to take include engaging in ongoing learning and development. Leaders must continuously seek new knowledge and insights to stay informed and up to date. They should be willing to learn from their experiences, their mistakes, and others. Fostering a culture of inquiry and transparency. Leaders must create an environment where employees feel comfortable asking questions and challenging assumptions. This promotes a culture of transparency, where information is openly shared and all perspectives are considered. Promoting diverse perspectives and constructive challenges. Leaders must encourage diversity of thought and seek out different perspectives to challenge their own thinking. This helps leaders make informed decisions based on a wider range of information. Embracing a growth mindset. Leaders must have a growth mindset, recognizing that seeking and incorporating feedback is essential for personal and professional growth. By embracing feedback, leaders can continually improve their performance and impact. By following these steps, leaders can overcome FOFO, improve their decision-making, and create a more informed, adaptive, and resilient organization.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the podcast. We hope you stay healthy and safe, and please join us again soon.